Welcome back to the Shop Mini RC, everybody. I'm Ken, and today we are looking at the Hobby Plus Evo Pro and some basic upgrades. We have some hex weights, wheel hex weights, plus 10 millimeters, because these are 10 millimeter offset here. Not offset, but 10 millimeter extra. And then we have the front brass portal hubs for the knuckles, and we have some overdrive gears. Now, there are a lot of things shared between the Hobby Plus Evo Pro and the Furitech Fury Wagon FX 118. So we have a video right over here showing a ton of upgrades, links, steering links, stuff like that on the FX 118, which would apply the same here. So you can check out that video and see all the different upgrades for that, and you can do those to your Evo Pro here. The big thing here that we want to talk about is just Overdrive and what Overdrive is about, or Underdrive, depending on how you do it. And we'll go ahead and install these and talk about it along the way. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, do all those things you do for videos you enjoy and channels you want to support. We appreciate all that. It's just a click for you, but it means the world to me. And yeah, it really helps us grow the channel and bring you awesome content showing you how to do cool stuff to your trucks. Let's start with getting this guy opened up, I guess, and show you what we need to do. So the first thing we need to do here is get our front wheels off, and we're going to just use our hex here that came with to get the little hubcaps off, these plastic hubcaps. And then we can pull this guy off here. Should be a 5 millimeter, yep, 5 millimeter box. Here's our hex. I love that this has like the disc brake caliper, or not caliper, rotor. Very cool. It's got the rotor look. Unfortunately, if we go to the brass, we're going to kind of lose that rotor look, although it'll still be in there, but it doesn't have the machining like a machined rotor would have. Anyway, we'll pull these guys off. Just be careful when you're doing that, because you've got this tiny pin in here. The pins are very small, so you definitely don't want to lose those guys. There you go. You pull it out with a magnetized driver end. Put that in there. Look at how long these shafts are. Jeez. These are plus 5 millimeters, I believe, over stock. So definitely longer shafts here, which gets you that extra wide, aggressive stance on this guy. Next, we're just going to go ahead and pull off our portal covers. Very simple. 4 screws. It uses a 1.5 millimeter. All right. So there we go. If you have bearings, now's a good time to change over your bearings as well. It does come with bushings, but bearings would be better, obviously, unless you're running through water, because you don't want to rust them out. Let's go ahead and open up what we've got here as far as our overdrives. Now, the difference between overdrive and underdrive is obviously the ratio of the gears. So if you go with a different ratio, a higher ratio, you're going to be going overdrive. And overdrive means that you're going to be spinning the front, or wherever you put those overdrive gears, they're going to spin faster compared to the wheel speed, right? Of the other gear, of the normal gear. So you can actually put overdrive gears in all 4 portals and you'll go faster. Just generally, it'll be an increase in speed. Now, if you put just overdrive gears in the front, your front's going to go faster than your rear. And the benefit of that is it helps tuck your truck down. It kind of pulls it down because the front's pulling away a little faster than the rear, so it pulls you a little bit lower. But more importantly, when you get to breakover angles on inclines, your truck will hook and actually grab more, because that front's spinning a little faster. It's going to pull it into it and help kind of pull you up and over any sort of breakover angle or breakover incline. And it just really helps you kind of stick to the rocks. Now, the downside of having that situation is your side hilling. So as you're side hilling on a hill, right, you're going you're driving and you're trying to go on a hill, that extra differentiation between the front and the rear is going to definitely hurt just a little bit, and it'll cause you to break loose more and things like that. Having overdrive or underdrive will also increase your steering, right? Because now your front is pulling and the rear is a little bit slower, so it's going to actually just kind of pivot around more. And again, all those benefits and detriments don't care if it's overdrive or underdrive. It's the same either way. Again, the benefit, though, to underdrive versus overdrive or overdrive versus underdrive is in the wheel speed or total gear ratio you want in the end, at the end of the day, essentially. A lot of times I prefer underdrive. I like to underdrive the rears. It gives you more torque than stock, right? So whatever the torque is on the stock axles here with the stock portals, if you underdrive it, you're going to get more torque, but it also means you're going to have less wheel speed. But a lot of times we have more than enough wheel speed on these guys. We just want more torque. So especially like on an SCX, things like that, more torque can generally be good on a high-end comp crawler, right? And usually you don't want to do overdrive or underdrive in like a trail rig because you're just going to be binding the whole time, right? You're going to be spinning faster in the front than you are the rear, and that's not ideal. But if you're trying to build a dedicated comp crawler, whether it's a class 1, 2, or 3, overdrive or underdrive is going to definitely help you because you're not trailing that truck usually. You're comping it, which means you're going slow. So going slow, having extra torque, always a good thing. If your truck already feels a little slow and you want it, then you would want to go overdrive, right? If your truck feels like it doesn't have enough wheel speed, then the overdrive in the front will give you a little bit extra wheel speed to kind of pull yourself up and over, or bump yourself when you're kind of lodged or stuck or dragging the belly or things of that nature. So you just have to keep those things in mind. As far as I know, though, the only thing offered right now on these guys is overdrive, which is totally fine. The ratios are already pretty good. The slow crawl is actually pretty good in this guy already. You have a 2-speed, so you can always, when you're crawling, you're going to be in the lower gear. I don't know. I feel like would I want underdrive in here? I don't know. I think I personally would want underdrive. Again, I always lean towards underdrive just because that extra torque is a good thing. That extra down gearing is helpful. So, but this is what we have right now. So that's what we're going to go with. Go ahead and pull these guys out here just to show you the difference. Again, you have tiny pins in here, so don't lose those. And these just slide right out. Okay, there's a tiny pin in there too, so don't lose that. You can actually keep this guy in here. And here's our new old gears versus our new gears. You can see that the new overdrive gears have a much larger small gear. So the stock gear here is 15 tooth. Whereas this overdrive gear is 17 tooth. So there's a big difference there on this one. These two gears are also slightly different. The larger gear is 23 on the stock and then 21 on the overdrive. Okay, so that's definitely a different gear ratio by far, by 2 teeth on both. 2 teeth larger on the small guy and 2 teeth smaller or less on the big guys. These guys are going to go back in the same way they came out. It's very simple. We'll also do our brass while we're at it. So we'll start with our CVD. The CVD is the smaller of the two. Make sure you don't lose your pin there. Make sure it's seated fully. Okay, you can go ahead and stick that guy right down in there. Kind of spin it around until it keys into the diff. Here we go. And then our axle shaft is going to be the larger side. And it goes like this. Okay, keys in that way. And then your bushing. And then this bushing goes on top of here. Now, because these are fresh, we're going to make sure we add some grease. We're just using some marine grease. You can link to it on Amazon. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description down there below. We'll just throw a little bit of grease on here. Never hurts to be greased up, but it does hurt to not have grease. Don't over-grease, though. And boom. Simple as that. Get our screws back in, and then we'll show you the wheel speed difference. But before we get to that, I suppose I should show you the weight of these guys. They are 12.5 grams each, so 25 grams total. compared to less than a gram on this guy. So that'll be extra weight towards the front, which is very good. I'm curious if the gears weigh different. That's 1.84 versus 2. So actually the Overdrive gears weigh just a tiny bit more. They're 2.07 versus 1.84. So you get like 0.2, a little over 0.2 extra grams. Not that it really matters, but that's almost half a gram in the front when you add them both in there. So half a gram just off those, which is interesting to note. Again, it doesn't really make that big of a difference, but if you're counting grams, maybe it does. All right, we'll go ahead and get the wheel and tire back on here and show you that wheel speed difference. So just to show you the stock setup, you can see they are in sync, spinning at the same speed. Okay, now if we flip this guy around, show you the same thing here. This is our front. Look at that. The front is faster. So we're synced up again. And the front just passes it. Okay, so that makes a big difference in your crawling, right? Now, high speed, woo! It's going to make a big difference even more so. So just be aware that when you're trailing, that the Overdrive is going to definitely suck you down. It pulls you down, and it's going to create a little bit of binding. So just be careful if you're in high speed. It's really meant for crawling. Now, this is a 20% overdrive, which means it's 20% faster than the rear. I also wanted to point out that these new brass covers, these are V2s, so they do clear these overdrive gears. I think there were V1s that a lot of people were ordering for the Fury Wagon, and those V1s do not clear, or the portal covers do not clear the overdrive gears. So on this setup with the new V2 portal covers, you can run the overdrive gears. Now, just from an options standpoint, I really wish they would give us underdrive gears as well, like I said before, just so I had the options. Or you could run underdrive rears in the rear, overdrive rears in the front, and get like a 40% differentiation on a real hardcore crawler if you wanted to do that. Probably a little too much to do that, but you could. But I like being able to mix gears around, and having more than one option is always a good thing. So maybe Hobby Plus or FearTech or somebody out there, get us some underdrive gears for these guys. Will be awesome. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do the other side, and then we'll do some weighing, show you the difference in the front weight bias versus the stock weight bias, and also get these guys on there. I guess we'll put all 4 of these on here and really get the weight down low. Usually we just put them on the front, but because we've already got this front brass, we'll see where we're at, but that's probably what we'll end up doing. All 4 just to really get us some real low weight. All right, guys, here's our new weights. The original weight was 55.45. So pretty good weight bias to start. And it was like a total of 419. Now we're at 442. Yeah, it was 420 before, so we got an extra 20.1 grams, so 20 grams, I guess, off of all that. The overdrives and the knuckles. Without the body, it was, what was it, 393, 394. So now we're 415. And then we've got a much better front to rear weight bias, 58% in the front, 42 in the rear. If we use our brass hex extenders here, or little brass spacers, hubs, whatever, hex hubs, we get a 6139, which is near perfect. I think it actually at some point, yeah, see, even there, it's reading 6040. So that's going to be near perfect. So we don't even want to run these rears, I don't think. We're going to use those maybe in another rig. We've got the hexes from here. So where'd they go? Somewhere in here. Oh, they're still in there. I'm like, I was going to say, we can use the brass in the front, plastic in the rear, and then we've got another set of brass plus the plastics we take off we'll be able to throw in there. So pretty cool. Our total body weight, when we throw this on there with those, is going to end up being 467, almost 468. Maybe with the body clips, it'll be 468. Just out of curiosity, how heavy are they? Not much at all. But again, they add, oh, it is, see, 468, just from the body clips. Anyway, guys, we're going to get these on. We're going to do some running footage. Let's check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed the ride. We definitely did. They may seem minimal. You know, we just added a little bit of weight on the front and some overdrive, but man, I can tell you just the driving experience is so much better. Maybe hard to tell from the videos, but it definitely helps being able to get that little bit of extra wheel speed in the front. More so the just differentiation between the front and the rear, and then that extra weight and getting that 60-40 weight bias really just kind of pushes it up just a little bit. And again, this is still a totally stock truck minus the weights in the front, the knuckles in the front, and the overdrive. That's it. Definitely worth checking out. I think the overdrive is a must if you're trying to go comp, and hitting that 60-40 weight bias, however, is a must. Maybe you don't need the wheel weights, but the knuckles I think are a must, and you could try to remove some weight from the rear if you want to stay lightweight. You know, also your wheels and tires. If you change out the wheels, it's going to change your weights. But trying to get non-rotating mass is ideal. These wheel weights, not too big of a deal, but you just don't want to get too nuts with that kind of weight. But the steering knuckle, portal covers for sure, overdrive for sure. And then again, if you're looking for an easy solution, the pancake hex weights, definitely a bonus. These are all Hobby Plus stuff, so you can get it straight from Hobby Plus when you order your truck, or Heli Direct or wherever else you may be getting parts. Probably has these parts for the Evo. If they don't, ask them to get them. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed everything. Make sure you do that like, subscribe, share, and notification bell thing to help support the video. And why don't you put down in the comments below, overdriven. Overdriven. So I know you watched the whole video. This wasn't nearly as long as most of them, but still, if you made it to the end, overdriven is the word, guys. All right, we'll see you next time. Get out there, build something awesome, build a car, of course, a community, and then smash it, crash it, and bash it. But don't break the expensive parts. Peace.